Sonic at this time was on life support in 2007, they were still doing great, amazing stuff in the Sonic comics, though. The comics kept Sonic, the real Sonic, the great Sonic, alive during the late 2000s, when the games were doing poorly. He was losing his luster because of 06 and other things. But the Sonic comics in the late 2000s, they kept Sonic afloat, the real version of Sonic, and they kept Sonic great. Where the games began to fail, the Archie Sonic comics were even getting a little better, actually, than the older ones. It just goes to show that Sonic was still flourishing as a character in the late 2000s, despite how some of the games were going on at the time. Okay, so the next chapter we have Sonic Rush Adventure for the DS. Great Sonic game, 2007. So the next chapter after that we have issue number 186, 2008, and this is where the Mammoth villain returns. And I forget his full name, but actually in the older Sonic comics or whatever, the Mammoth villain was there when he first appeared, and this is when he returned. Perfect. And you also got Meanie the Mongoose on the front cover. Wave 19. And like I said before, this is the Scourge era. You got issue number 189 and 190, where you can combine the front covers together to make like a full image. And this was the Great War between Sonic's Freedom Fighters and Scourge's group. I forget what they were called. But as you can see, they had dark versions of the Freedom Fighters. And it's amazing. And there's also Fiona the Fox here on the front cover, who Sonic dated, I think, and then also Tails dated her in like the 90s or something, and now she becomes a Scourge girlfriend. So she first dates Sonic, and then now she's dating Scourge. So it's interesting that they kept Fiona the Fox alive, and they kept doing stuff with her later on. 2008, next chapter, we have issue 194, the original version of Amy Rose returning from another dimension or whatever. Next chapter, issue number 195, 2008, we have the return of Silver the Hedgehog. Yes, you can see his hand on the front cover, he's levitating all of them. And you got Scourge is still there. Yeah, you have like this Robin Hood version of Sonic who's right there on the front cover, and this is when he returns. But he first appeared in the late 90s or whatever. Cool character. Alright, so next chapter, 2008, we have Sonic Riders Zero Gravity. Pretty good game. Arguably better, worse than the first Sonic Riders. I think Sonic Riders took a dive when they made the later one after this, but the first two Sonic Riders were good, solid games, despite some flaws in like the gameplay or whatever. The worst thing about the gameplay of the original Sonic Riders was how you had to fill up your frickin' board with air during the race, fill up your car with gas during the race. It was horrible. I mean, that part was horrible, but other than that, good game. So the next chapter, we have Sonic Unleashed. Good Sonic game, cool Sonic game, and really almost the next Sonic Adventure, because the Sonic Unleashed was called Sonic World Adventure in the UK or something like that. So, I mean, Sonic Adventure is in the title of the game. I always wanted to replay Sonic Unleashed.